Y'all can just go ahead and keep Chris Brown over there.
Hello? You're currently on the phone with KCK. Yep, that's me.
Hello, everyone. It's Casey from On the Phone with KCK. That's me. This week has been eventful, for sure. There's been a lot of stuff happening. My notes is like overflowing, and that's a good thing, because sometimes there's like stuff to talk about all the time, but sometimes it's like, it's not really that interesting. But we have lots and lots and lots of stuff to talk about, especially number one is Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And this season, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about this. This season was so good. We have a new villain. It's not just one person being ganged up on this time. There are like several people who have beef with each other. There's for sure one main person, but I don't know. The drama this season was good. They brought Miranda in, and she was the one that was in the swinging scandal with Taylor. And I thought, I'm not going to talk about it right now because I'm going to talk about other things first. But I'll just say I thought Miranda was going to be super annoying, but I actually ended up really liking her. So yeah. But first I'm going to talk about my weekend. I went to Vegas on Saturday. I drove down after the gym, and I went to the T-Mobile Arena where Katy Perry was performing her Lifetimes tour, and it was fun. It was just me. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I bought a ticket just for me. I don't know when it went on sale. I think like February is when the tickets went on sale. And I've seen her 4 times already. I went 3 times to her show in Vegas, and then I went to the Witness tour in Salt Lake. And she's such a good performer, whether you think she's annoying or not. Like, she just knows how to perform well, and she has such good songs, such good hits, that you can't help but have a good time when you're there. And I feel like people who don't like her or think she's cringy or whatever, if they went, they would have a much better time than they think they would. Just because, I don't know. I think they forget how many actually good songs she has. And all the good she's done for the pop culture world. But I knew my friends were going to be like, oh, I don't want to go again, whatever. That's fine. I totally understand. And so I was like, well, I'll just get 2 tickets and I'll find someone to go with me. And then I saw the stage, and it was like set up like a infinity sign, and so it's like basically like an 8, and in the holes of like the 8 it's like the pit, and you can choose. There's eternity, infinity, and then on the sides it's like Club 143, because the album's name is 143, and I can't remember what the other one is called. But I was like, I want to be there. I want to be down there. This is like a concert that would be good because I know basically literally every single word. I'm a huge fan. Like a lot of times I look down there, I'm like, oh, is it really worth it to pay that much money to go see someone? But if you really like them that much, yes, it is. I promise you. So I was like, I'm just going to buy one, and I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to make it a little trip. And I planned on staying at least one night, but that did not happen because tickets or room prices were insane. They were so expensive. So expensive. And I was like, well, I'll just do what I did for Beyonce. Which I should have known better. Beyonce was in August. People aren't really going to Vegas in August. Not that I know of, at least, because it's super hot there. And it was like a Monday or Tuesday. And so the rooms at the Excalibur were $25 a night. And I'm like, wow, this is really good. And you can just walk to the venue from there. And anyway, No. There was another thing going on down there. I couldn't figure out why rooms were so expensive. And I was telling my friend Frisco about it, and he's like, "Oh, are you going to EDC?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "That's why they're so expensive. That's why everything down there is booked." And EDC is the electric car. What is it? Yeah, Electric Daisy Carnival. It's like another type of Coachella. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's like um, DJs and house music. I could be wrong, but whatever. It's at the racetrack, which isn't even technically in Vegas. It's like clear out on the north side. But I was like, okay, well, I'll just go down and come back. That's what I'll have to do. So I was going to do that. I was going to stay at my parents have a house in St. George, and I was going to stay there on the way back. I got to that gas station just north of Vegas, and I'm like, I can't go any farther. Like, I can't. So I went and I slept in the Love's parking lot from like 1 until 5:30, and then I got up and drove the rest of the way home on Saturday. Yeah, I changed in the parking lot at New York, which is right next door to the T-Mobile Arena. Went down, got in line for my VIP entrance, and they took us in and let us pick out merch before everyone else got there. And then they took us to the floor or whatever. I guess that's what it's called, the arena floor. And took us in our little circle. And I met some friends there. Well, they're friends now, but they kind of were just like small talk, you know? And they're like, "Oh, you dress comfortable like us. Like, we don't really go all out for these concerts. We just like to be comfortable." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not as creative as some of these people, because some people like created outfits after Katie's looks, like down to the exact detail." And I'm like, I can envision that in my mind, but trying to do it physically, I just can't. I've never been able to. Like when I was in school, and you'd have to do like reports or I don't know, not presentations. What am I trying to say? Like I don't know. I could always picture it in my head perfectly. Like, this is how I want it to be. And then when I try and do it, I'm like, oh, well, this is not even close to what I was thinking of. I don't know. I just, what they call a creative, what do they call it? A frustrated artist is what they call it. I learned that the other day. And I was like, that is exactly what I am. I am, because I can see it in my head, but I cannot bring it to life. So, anyway, but I ended up being friends with them, and they were friends with all these other Katy cats, and they like all know each other from all these other concerts they've been to, and on Twitter, back when Katy was huge on Twitter at the beginning, and they know her band, like they're waving to the people in her band. They know her photographers on like her tour photographers, and who was on what tour, and it was just fun. Like they'd see each other and like scream and run and hug each other. I'm like, this is like really cool. And I feel like I'm a huge Katy Perry fan, but these guys are like on another level. I met one guy who's from France, and he'd seen her like over 20 times, and I think they came to Vegas just for this show, and then he's going to Australia for a month on like a work visa, and he timed it just right so he can go to the Lifetimes tour in Australia too. It's just fun. It was fun to be around people that loved her as much as I do. And I'm not saying my friends aren't fun to be with, but you know, like you just know that like when someone doesn't like something as much as you do, and you really 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 like it, it's just not as fun. You know what I mean? Like you don't get to like go fangirl out and go crazy and whatever. But with these guys, it was like, oh, I'm safe. Like I'm safe. Anything Katy does, like they scream and cheer and are happy and whatever. I don't know. It was fun. So Rebecca Black opened up for her, and let's just say she's very different from her Friday music. It was good. She was a good performer. It was just so weird seeing people up that close. Like even Taylor Swift, like seeing them that close, it just doesn't feel real. It's like, oh, you're just like real people. Like from afar, you know, you see them and on pictures and stuff like that. But when you're up close, you can just see like every detail of like their hair and their skin and like their eyes. It's a different feeling. But yeah, like we were right at the very front. Like it was the stage, the barricade, and then us. Like that, it was right there. We could have reached out and like shook their hand, grabbed them, whatever. Like it was so fun. It was so fun. I am so glad I did it. Now I have all these friends from all over, and it was a great show, you guys. I don't care what people say online. Like it looks cheesy, looks cheap, and people are like complaining that she used AI for her backdrops. I'm like, okay, but that was the point. The whole theme of the concert is it's in the future, like a dystopia future where AI has taken over. AI was supposed to help humankind, but it took over and has made it worse. And so Katy, it's like a video game type thing. Katy, think of like Ready Player One, that movie. And Katy's a character, is that what they call him in games? A video game character? I guess so. And she's tasked with fighting the AI and getting rid of it and making the world, go back to normal. And so, yes, of course there's going to be AI in it. Like, it's the theme of the concert. I don't know. It was really good. She was flying around the arena. She was on a butterfly. She was swinging around on these, like, I don't know, this pole thing. Like, it was just so fun. It was so fun. I loved it. And I would do it again. I would do it all over again. Afterward, I've learned from experience, especially in parking garages, especially the one at the Gateway. I have been caught so many times leaving dinner at the Gateway Mall and a jazz game had just gotten out. And you're just stuck in that garage for hours and hours. I guess not hours and hours, but a long time. Over an hour for sure. And I'm like, I would rather go walk around or do something than be stuck in this garage. So I went and I walked to the Bellagio. If you've never been inside, like people go to the fountains, whatever, go inside and go look at the gardens in the Bellagio. They change them up like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times a year, depending. Like they have a Christmas one, obviously. I'm sure they probably have a Halloween one. This one was like a spring one with like baby chickens being hatched and bumblebees, and it's just really pretty. So I did that. I went to CVS and got snacks for the ride home. And then I got in my car and went to In-N-Out Burger and drove as far as I could, which was not that far, like 15 miles. And then I slept in my car. Luckily, I can do that. I am very blessed to being able to sleep anywhere. And yeah, so I figured I was in my car for like 12 or 13 hours. Like I didn't stop at all on the way home. I got gas before I left Vegas, and on the way home I didn't stop at all. Which is kind of crazy. So I got home at like 10 a.m. It was fine. It was fun. Anyway, I just love concerts. I love live events. Me and my new friends were talking, like, that's our religion. That's our just being there. It's like a euphoric feeling when everyone is just on the same energy and vibing to the same music and just there for the same thing. And it's just a holy, like a euphoric. It's like when SpongeBob is being lifted into the air. It's like that meme, It's like that. And I love every second of it. But yeah, anyway, what else happened? Nothing too much. Oh, we went and saw Ma in theaters. So Ma is that scary movie. I cannot believe this movie was greenlit and made. Be for serious. Like they were being serious about this. Now it's kind of a cult classic because it's so it's so bizarre. But basically Ma, it's Octavia Spencer, and she ends up buying alcohol for these high schoolers. And then she's like, I don't want you guys out drinking. I just wouldn't feel comfortable. You can come to my basement, hang out, you can do whatever you want. And so they do, and they end up being like, oh, Ma, you're so cool. You're so awesome. They start calling her Ma because she's like, obviously could be their mother. And then she becomes like possessive of them. And is like constantly like sending him videos like, don't make me drink alone. Like, come on guys, come on. And anyway, she just becomes possessive. There's so many things that happen in this movie that are so funny. A lot of like good actor, like Allison Janney is in it, and Luke Evans. It's so interesting to me that this movie was from start to finish made and completed and sent out to theaters. But they're doing this thing it's Blumhouse, that scary movie company. Is it Blumhouse or Bloomhouse? Might be Bloomhouse. They're doing a halfway to Halloween series. So each week they're releasing a different one of their movies in theaters for one day. And that's what this was. And I'm so glad we went. It was so funny. I'd never seen it before, but I've seen so many TikToks and tweets and whatever about it that I basically know it. And even my friends, we were walking in, I was like, I'm so excited to see this finally. And they're like, you haven't seen this movie? I was like, no. They're like, you quote it all the time. I'm like, I know. That's how iconic it is. So, yeah. I don't know if they're done with that. I don't know if they're just like a month of it or whatever, but I did that. What else did I do? I don't know. Nothing too crazy or exciting. Should we talk about... What should we talk about? I guess I'll get into the Chris Brown stuff because we just talked about that. He is in jail in England because... Well, the UK. I don't know exactly where. Because of an alleged attack he did or assault he did on someone in 2023. So I don't know. Did they just wait for him to come back and then snatch him? It says singer Chris Brown is in custody after being arrested Thursday and charged with grievous bodily harm with intent in connection to alleged incident in London in 2023. Basically, he has to start tour. It's so crazy that he's still touring. I just can't. I don't know. It baffles me that people still listen to him and support him. But I saw another article that said some women were applying to work at the jail he's at to be next to him. I'm like, huh, interesting. Anyway, he has to start tour over there on June 13th. No, June 8th. But his court appearance isn't even until June 13th. So, sorry to you Chris Brown fans, but I don't think he's going to make it. This was interesting. I think I found out about it while I was in Vegas. First of all, if you don't like Vegas, I'm sorry, but you're doing it wrong. I don't know what happened when you went or if you've never been and you just assume you're not going to like it. Vegas is fun. There is so much to do. So much to do. Even just to walk around and see. It has some of the coolest architecture you're ever going to see. Like, I was looking around while I was there on the Strip. I'm like, the fact that they had to just custom design all this stuff, like, the way that they have everything built and set up, I'm like, this is honestly a modern marvel. Like, it's incredible the things that they have done there. I love it. I just could be there for so long. I could live in Vegas. I really, truly could. It would not bother me one bit. There's always people going on tour there. There's always shows. There's always something to do. The best restaurants in the whole world are there. Like, I can't... You have any store you want to go to ever. Like, it was 1 in the morning, and I could have went into Ulta and bought something. Like, where else can you do that? I don't know. I just love it. I love it so much. So I highly recommend you go back. You do some museums. You do some shows. You go to the mall. You find a really cool restaurant. Like, you're just doing it wrong. I'm telling you. Anyway, I saw this while I was there. They're going to build a 10,000 square foot In-N-Out burger on the Strip. It'll have 2,000 square feet of outdoor seating, and the inside will be 8,000 square feet. But it's going to be, like, pretty tall. Like, multiple stories. I mean, I guess, obviously. But, yeah, it's expected to come in 2026, which is good because they have one on the Strip kind of by the Link, the big Ferris wheel thing, and it's busy. So this one will be a great addition, and I will be going. Trust, I will be going. I can't really figure out where exactly they're saying it's going to be. When I did the coordinates or whatever, it said somewhere by the Cosmopolitan, but it was like inside the Cosmo. I'm like, that wouldn't work. That That would never happen. Hilary Duff is returning to music. Her husband teased, I don't know, I think it was just a picture of her in the studio or something. So I guess she hasn't officially announced it, but it'd be good. I mean, for all my millennial brothers and sisters out there, you know how much we love Hilary Duff. Skims is opening a store in London, and I also saw an article. Skims is worth $4 billion. $4 billion. Speaking of that, Kim was in Paris. I wonder how this all lined out. This was like, how did she make this work? So her court stuff is still going on for her robbery, which was in 2016, 9 years ago. I still remember waking up and seeing the headlines for that. I still remember, I know exactly. So my apartment in Murray, and it was October. I remember it so vividly. And it seems like just like yesterday. I hate time. Okay, anyway, she had to go there and she looked stunning. The outfits she wore to court every day were just phenomenal. She looked so good. Like, and then I guess the one day she went in wearing a bunch of diamonds, basically like an FU to the people who robbed her. Her mom was there with her. They both looked stunning. Then she met up with Katy Perry, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on over there. Then those two went to Lauren Sanchez's bachelorette party. Lauren Sanchez is Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon. It's his fiance. Could you imagine being engaged to one of the richest men in the whole entire world? Like, there's no limit to what you can do. They've been engaged for a while, too. So I'm guessing the wedding is soon. I can only imagine what that wedding is going to be like, what the invite list is going to look like. I'm so curious, because she's not just some rando, the Lauren. She is actually very highly educated and has a career of her own, and I want to know how they met and what she said to him to get him to fall in love with her, or even like be interested in her, and how it all came about. Like, tell me your secrets, Lord. Please. Anyway, so then when we were in line at the concert, I was like, wasn't Katy in Paris yesterday? And they're like, yeah. And she even mentioned that on stage. She's like, I was in Paris yesterday. She's like, can a girl go and celebrate her friend's bachelorette party and then come back and put on a show? I'm like, yes, you can. So it's just kind of weird that people can be that far away, come back and do a whole ass show, and it's just like nothing now. I wonder if the Bezoses chartered a jet for Katy, or if she had to charter her own jet. It would just be so interesting to follow around these super wealthy people and just see how they live on a daily basis. Like, flying private to them is like nothing now. And like buying your own plane is like a common thing amongst them. Weird. Anyway, yeah, Kim, if you're not sure what the pictures I'm talking about, go look. Kim going to court in Paris. She looks so good. I don't know. The fact that she's made a career out of just being hot and pretty, and she's a billionaire now, it's really kind of crazy. Oh, bringing that up, her new show, All's Fair, the trailer dropped, and it looks so good. The fashion in this, so I blocked somebody on TikTok because she's like, if you've seen the new trailer, you know it looks awful. It's terrible. It looks so bad. Their clothes look so awful. I'm like, I'm done entertaining people like this. Like, I don't care to see your stuff if you're just trying to just tear people down no matter what. That's awesome. Like, if you haven't even seen the show, so you don't even know if it's good or not. And the people that just jump on to this bandwagon of hating people just because it's popular, I don't get. Like, I get if you don't like something because you just, like, you don't like it, or they did something that bugs you or whatever, but just to constantly be hating on people for no reason is so weird to me. It's just like, okay, move on. Like, go live your life, whatever. But like hating on someone like Chris Brown, valid. That is so valid. But hating on Kim Kardashian, like, what has she done? Really, honestly, what has she done? Just because she's so famous that she's all over the place. That's why. Okay, what a great reason to hate somebody. So anyway, I blocked that girl, but she was saying how awful the fashion looked. I'm like, that is fashion, like archival runway fashion, and it's part of the show. It is part of the whole thing. Like it's the show is about this high powered attorney's office that's all female, and they basically help women get out of marriages and make sure they get as much money as possible. So like it's like wealth. It is like money, 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 and I don't know. It looks great. It's got Glenn Close in it. It's got Tiana Taylor. It's got Naomi Watts, Sarah Paulson. Who else is in it that's really famous? It looked like Jessica Simpson was in it for a second, like one of the clips. And they interviewed Glenn Close and Tiana Taylor on the red carpet for something, and they both were just like, Kim is a boss. She's a great woman. She knows her stuff. She's willing to learn. She's humble. She's sweet. I'm like, if Glenn Close is saying that about you, you're doing something right, because she's one of the greatest actors of our time, and I don't think she would just give out that compliment. She even said this is genuinely coming from like a place of in my heart. Like she's a great person. So anyway, that comes out. It said on the thing, it said spring, but now they're saying it's coming out in the fall, which I thought made more sense because we're almost to summer. So it comes out in the fall. I think it's on Hulu, be on Hulu or FX or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing, but whatever. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Speaking of, it's a Ryan Murphy production. Speaking of him, Cooper Koch, he's from the Menendez brothers. He is the new face, or one of them, for Calvin Klein. So his photos have been released, and he looks very, very good. I will say that. Very, very, very good. He's so good looking. What else do we talk about? Simu Leo is engaged to Allison. I don't know how to pronounce this. I very much apologize. HSU. I don't know if that's Sue. I don't know who she is. I don't know if she's an actress or what, but hang on, let me look. Okay, so she is also a boss. She has made the Forbes 30 Under 30 list in 2022. She works at Interscope Records, and if you're wondering who is at Interscope Records, it's people like Lady Gaga and Billie Eilish and Selena Gomez. So it's like big names. It says she began working at Interscope Records in 2017 as an intern. While attending UCLA, she landed a full-time position at the record label in 2018 after graduating with a bachelor's degree from the university. According to her LinkedIn, Sue has worked her way up within the company and was promoted to digital marketing director in March 2023. At Interscope, she leads the digital and social efforts for high-profile music artists, including Billie Eilish and Lady Gaga. So yeah, she was on Forbes 30 Under 30. That's crazy. They started dating in 2022. I had no idea. I thought he was single. I don't know why I assumed that, but good for them. I like him. He seems very, very genuine. I forget he has a book too. Kind of want to read that. His story's interesting. I can't remember what exactly job he was doing, but it was like a accountant or something, and he said he was so bad at it and his bosses like hated him, but he just really wanted to go and be an actor. And it worked out for him. I wonder what podcast that was on. I think it was on Conan. It's either Conan or Dax Shepard. I haven't listened to Dax Shepard in a long time. Radical Optimism by Dua Lipa has reached 2 billion streams, which, as it should. It's still so interesting to me that some people don't like that album. I just don't know. Like, how could you listen to Training Season, Houdini, Falling Forever, Maria, what else? Illusion, and just be like, like y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Anyway, let's see. This is a Utah thing. Daiso, I was going to call it Daiso, but I saw a TikTok yesterday. Daiso is a Japanese dollar store which opened this weekend, and the line was like 3 hours long. And basically, it's like it looked very clean. I will say that. So it's like a cleaner look of the Dollar Tree, and you basically can get anything in there that you need, such as like organizing things, knickknacks from like Japan. Like it's very like Asian market type vibe, which I mean makes sense because it's Japanese, the Japanese dollar store. So if you want to go to that, I don't know where it's at. Should we find out? Where is Daiso? It's in Midvale. Oh, at Fort Union. Okay. All right. Good to know. Also, did you hear that they just opened up a Restoration Hardware outlet? Let's see if I could spell Restoration Hardware. It's in the district in South Jordan. It looks like it's the old Gordmans. Do you guys remember that place? Just another one. It says Restoration Hardware does not have a dedicated outlet store in Utah. However, Restoration Hardware of Salt Lake. Well, this isn't right because I just saw a TikTok about it. All right. Well, if you want to go, it's in the district in South Jordan. And the guy that did it said the furniture was actually in really good condition. Not a lot of it was like broken and damaged like some outlets. It was more just like overstock or overflow or whatever. So yeah, anyway, let's see what else. Wicked is coming back to theaters on June 4th, and I think it'll have an extended edition or version to show you the song For Good, I think it was what it was. So yeah, they're starting promo on the new one. It's so weird to think that we're already at that point. But yeah, this one, I don't know how true it is. There's a rumor that Doechii is going to be on a remix of Abracadabra with Lady Gaga. I could get behind that. That would be good. I wonder how she's doing after the whole Met Gala meltdown. I wonder if she's going to be okay. Or people are going to start canceling her. Let's see, HBO is making headlines again, and not for a movie, but for... They're changing their name back to HBO Max instead of just Max, which... Good, because whenever I tell people, they're like, what's that on? I'm like, Max. They're like, what is that? I'm like, it's HBO. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know why you guys felt the need. The reason they changed it the first time is because they acquired like the Discovery Network and another one, and it had kind of like lower caliber shows, and they didn't want to have HBO be attached to that. But I think it backfired, obviously, because they changed their name. But they've changed their name five times now. They've had HBO Go. Well, they've had HBO, then HBO Go, then HBO Now, then HBO Max, and then Max. And now it's back to HBO Max. Do you think that they're in these meetings being like, let's do something productive today? They're like, okay, let's change the name of the company again. But I'm glad because it was just too confusing. It just didn't make any sense. But someone had a good point. They're like, am I going to have to get a new app again? And because last time we had to get a whole new app. So it'll be interesting to see. I still have the old one. I haven't deleted it. So I guess my grandpa always says if you put something off long enough, it takes care of itself. So now I don't have to re-download the app. That's a plus. That's a highlight. I've been watching the show Overcompensating on Amazon Prime. It's the one with Benito Skinner. He is that really funny internet personality influencer. He does all these skits. But he created his own show. It's basically a college coming out story. But it's done really well. It's super funny. Like the phrases and stuff they use are so up to date. You can just tell it's someone who is on the internet all the time. And it's really funny, you guys. It's really, really good. It's like wholesome. It's pretty crass, pretty rated R, so just keep that in mind. There's just like naked people all the time for no reason. His roommate just stands naked. I'm like, okay, there you go. But Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon Prime. Super funny. It's got Connie Britton's in it. Um, Charlie XCX makes appearances in it. Which is really funny because she and Benny are friends in real life. And so I'm like, that is just like, how cool would it be to call up your friend who's a famous pop star and ask her to come and be in your TV show you're writing? It'd be so fun. That's the kind of Hollywood I would like to live in. When you're like at that level, like I don't want to go and struggle. I don't want to go and live in squalor in an apartment with cockroaches and like seven other people. You know what I mean? I would like to live in LA. Like I could do it, but I want to have my own place, like a nice place. I don't want to have to street park because I hear street parking there is a nightmare. I want to have a good career, money, fame. You know, I just want like a comfortable life, like a established one. I think trying to go do that now would be exhausting. I'm just gonna be so honest with you, and I'm not up for it. So I'll live in my house in the middle of nowhere with all my nice things. Miley Cyrus, her movie is coming to theaters June 12th. Tickets go on sale Wednesday, I think. Yeah. So apparently Shakira has a beauty brand coming out, which another beauty brand, that's great. I need to stop being like that. Like there's plenty of space for everyone in every industry. But it's just it feels like everyone is doing this. And it seems like just the last 10 years it's become a thing where people are doing beauty, skincare, whatever. Jessica Alba was really the one that kind of started it. But yeah, it's kind of a thing now. And I guess if you make money off it, you might as well do it. I think Selena Gomez's brand is worth $1 billion. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. If I did, just ignore it. But so she has that mental health, what would it be? Like charity, like work or whatever, foundation. And her mom runs it. But apparently her mom had to mortgage her house to be able to pay the employees because it's broke. And I'm like, I'm so curious to this because Selena Gomez, her company's worth $1 billion, and she has a lot of money on her own just from her music and acting and stuff like that. Is there like some miscommunication? Can she not help pay for legal reasons? Like, I'm so curious why she would. That doesn't sound like her. It doesn't sound like her to let her mom refinance her house to be able to pay the employees' bills. Like, how does that make any sense? I'll look into that more and talk about it next week because there's obviously much more. Demi Lovato is getting married on the 26th, which is Friday, right? Let me look at my big ass calendar on the desk. No, it's a Sunday. No, when is this? Monday. On Memorial Day? That's weird. That's interesting. I guess I didn't super fact check that, but whatever. Kylie Jenner has a new blush out. It's supposed to be like a new formula, never before seen. Lorde tickets are in high demand right now. Like I am actually pretty surprised. And I think I said last week I'm like I don't really care to see her, and I went and visited my friends. They're like, "Oh, I really want to go see Lorde, but it's at this time." I was like, "You want to see Lorde?" And she's like, "Yeah, don't you?" I'm like, "Not really. Like her new song wasn't that good." I'm sorry, but her first two albums were just so good. Like so good. I was talking to someone, they didn't even know she had a third album. I guess I shouldn't judge it yet, but based on the first song, I I don't really care to go see her. And she's going to have to step it up because the ticket demand, I think it said in California, like 180,000 people wanted tickets, and the venue only held 17,000 people. I'm like, girl, get a bigger arena, you can literally do a stadium, which is so weird to me because I don't know, when we went and saw her for her melodrama tour, she was in the Pepsi Center, which I think is different now, but that was in Denver. But all the upper seats were blocked off. So it was just like the lower bowl and the floor she's performing for, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But um, to go from that to people hating your next album to now all of a sudden people want to go to see your show at a huge venue doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. All right, I'll do this one and then we'll talk about two big categories next. See, this one I saw yesterday. Gordon Ramsay has a new TV show. Do you know how much money he makes, you guys? It's like a lot of money. Like, he had one of those games like Kim Kardashian used to have, and he made like 40 or 50 million just from that. Wonder what his net worth is. He makes so much money. I like how he's actually a nice guy, but he's just very passionate about what he does. So when he's in his work element, why is this not working? When he's in his work element, what the hell? All right, well my keyboard has decided to stop working, so he's just so passionate about what he does that he gets so mean. The way he speaks to adults versus the way he speaks to children is so crazy. He like really does like kids and is super nice to them. Gordon Ramsay. Ramsay. I wonder if that's the same as the money guy, Dave Ramsey. Okay, this is being so slow, you guys. I don't know. He's worth a lot of money, so just know that. He has a new show. It's called Secret Service, where he goes into restaurants after hours because he's like, if they know I'm coming, they're gonna clean and be on their best behavior. But if they don't know I'm coming, then I'm gonna catch them. And he basically goes in and inspects kitchens, and then when they come to work the next day, he's like, this kitchen is closed until further notice, and he revamps the whatever. So that's one I could probably get behind. I'm not really into cooking shows, but this one seems interesting. It premieres on Fox on Wednesday, and I think on Hulu the next day, I want to say. Oh, sorry, one more thing. There's a rumor that Toulouse, Ariana Grande's dog, is going to be Toto in the next part of Wicked. And someone's like, this is the kind of nepotism I can get behind. Like, very true, very true. Okay, we're going to talk about Diddy for a second and then get into Mormon wives. So the Diddy case is going on now, and it is in New York. So apparently there's a law there, you can't film it. Like how they were able to film and televise the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp one. I think they specifically chose to do it in New York because they didn't want that to happen. But they've been interrogating or interviewing Cassie, his former girlfriend, who they were together for a long, long time, like since 2007 or something. Basically, just asking her why she stayed with him after all the horrible things he did, and they got into all that. Like, he basically would like watch her have sex with other guys in front of him. Like, that was his thing. And they said sometimes it would go on for days and days. And they said that one time the hotel they were staying in demanded that he pay to renovate the room because it was so damaged and so torn apart that they couldn't even clean it up. Like, they had to remodel the whole room. There's just like some horrendous things that are happening, and his kids are all in the courtroom with him. Cassie's fiance or husband is in the courtroom with her. And she's pregnant. She's 7 months pregnant. I think she's done. I don't think she has to go anymore and do anymore. Apparently, she wrote a book about it, her whole experience, and gave. I can't remember what her thought process was. She gave it to Diddy and asked him to pay her for the rights to it. She must have just needed money, but she demanded $30 million. She didn't get that. She got $20 million, I think. I think she still has the rights to the book. So could you imagine that? Yeah, basically, he's a terrible, terrible, terrible person. He's awful. The whole point of this, though, wasn't for the Cassie thing, because they've already filed and settled or whatever in court. The FBI wants him in court for his like sex trafficking ring, all that kind of stuff. But I did see people were thinking that Justin Bieber was caught in his web of atrocities, and his team spoke out and said that nothing ever happened between Justin and Diddy. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that or not, but whatever. Justin's going through something. Apparently he's broke. Apparently he's like broke. And which is so weird. Like, how could you spend like $200 million? Like, what are you buying? You know what I mean? I don't know, crazy. I want to know the dynamic between him and Haley. Like, what is a daily interaction between those two? I feel like she just kind of goes and does her own thing and is like wandering around the house, whistling, and stuff. And he's just like there. Like, he'll just like be there randomly and she'll be like, oh, hi. And then keep doing her own thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Very interesting. Yeah, Diddy is a terrible, terrible person. And he deserves to be locked up forever. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. What, continuing with this lawsuit and how long it'll go. Like, how long is this going to go on for? I don't know. We'll see. Also, how could you feel good about yourself defending him, like, as a lawyer? Like, as a lawyer, do you have to just completely disassociate? I'm sure there are some terrible people out there who are lawyers and they don't mind. But how could you do that? You know what I mean? I don't understand the thought process behind that. Anyway, okay, let's talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Season 2 was great. It was so good. And they did not come to play. Apparently, I learned this on a podcast, the Weekly Trash podcast. Apparently the guy, so it's how do you say it? But it's the guy that did Kardashians, the Murray. Why I can't forget or remember his name, Bunham and Murray or whatever it is. He's the guy that kind of helped start the Kardashians, and he also did the Bling Empire. Do you guys remember that one? That one was so good, and I was so mad it didn't come back. But he explained why. He said it's hard. Season 2 is very hard on a reality show, especially if it's successful, because the cast gets full of themselves. They get a little fame, they get a little money, and they just become divas. And he said that's what happened with Bling Empire. They got some fame, and then it got to their head, and that none of them would film with, like, I'm not filming with so-and-so, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this. So then the show just kind of fell apart, and nothing ever happened. He said this time, though, the ladies were actually very involved and willing to do all this stuff, and it worked, because season 2, oh my gosh, we thought season 1 was good. Season 2, the new villain. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, I suggest you turn this off now, because I'm going to spoil it. But Demi is the new villain, and she is mean. She is a mean, mean girl, which sucks because I like her. So, I mean, I guess it's good for a villain, but she's still one of the prettiest people I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, genuinely so, so pretty. But she has this vendetta against Taylor, like, you wouldn't believe. Like, she does not like Taylor, and she wants to make it known, and she wants to be the new leader of Momtok. She wants to be the queen bee. And it's just funny to hear and, like, see her. Like, they'll be talking about Taylor for a minute, like, oh yeah, that was annoying that she did that, or that was whatever, and they'll be, like, moving on, and she's like, but guys, wait, like, we need to figure this out. Like, we need to figure out if she belongs in Momtok or if she needs to take a step down. And they're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Where's this coming from? Like, they're all so confused. Jen Affleck, she was obviously going through some things here. She's pregnant. She had some mental problems. She didn't even film the last 3 or 4 episodes, I think. And now all of a sudden Zach's a good guy. That's very interesting to me. He finally cut his hair, thank goodness. His hair did not look good. But he looks so familiar, and someone on TikTok posted a video. My niece sent it to me too. He looks like young Syndrome off of The Incredibles. Like, it's uncanny how much he looks like him. Apparently he's done a lot of work on himself, and he feels really, really bad about what he said in Vegas. I'm like, which part? Which part of the 7 hours of you constantly belittling her and berating her and telling her she's a piece of trash do you regret? Like, I get if you say something in the heat of the moment, like one thing that's kind of mean, but he kept going constantly, like nonstop. And then Demi and Brett were on the Vile Files. I don't like Nick Vile. I just don't. I'm sorry. There's something about him. He seems so arrogant. He seems rude. He actually was talking about a girl I follow on TikTok not very nicely. And so that's kind of like what it stems from. But he just seems so full of himself. But people like him. His podcast does really well. And I will say he is a good interviewer. Like he does well at what he does. But I don't know, something about him just doesn't sit with me. But they were on his podcast. I listened to it yesterday on the way home. And they're like, people think that they were like defending Zach. Like Brett was like, he's actually a really good guy, and he just got like a bad rap. And I'm like, I have to disagree. I'm sorry, I just do. But they said people think that he was gambling away Jen's money, but it wasn't. It was his money. He's like, he made like $500,000 last year flipping houses. I'm like, I don't believe that at all. You don't just make $500,000 flipping a couple houses. Like, that's not how it works. So if you've watched the whole thing, you'll know that Jesse and Demi are no longer friends. And Jesse did an interview yesterday or a couple days ago and said she would never, ever, ever be her friend ever again. And I want to know what happened, because in this season, Taylor brings up, she was kind of put in a weird position because she, to me, was like in this group chat after Taylor had apologized to the girls for getting mad at them and posting on CMA or on TikTok that they didn't support her CMA appearance and like they didn't comment or anything on it. And to me, it's like, you better hope and pray you don't show up at this party. They had like a Saints and Sinners party, because it's going to be an atomic bomb dropped on your ass. Like, I'm not holding back or whatever. I'm like, what a weird thing to say. So of course Taylor shows up, and Taylor is just so, I love how just calm she is, but you know she's like mad. And you know she's about to like spit fire and just like go off. But like she just sits there and like lets people yell at her. And then when they're done, she's like, okay, my turn. Basically that's what she was doing at this party. And she's like, you're just so fake to me. Like, just so fake. She's like, oh, really? How am I fake? She's like, there are things. There are reasons. She's like, oh, say it. And the girls are like, well, you have to say it now. Like, you can't just not say it. And she's like, no, like, I just know, and I'm not going to say it here. They're like, well, you can't say that and not say it. So they kind of forced her to say it, and then they got mad at her for saying it. She's like, well, you're telling people not to go to Jesse's salon because she can't do color. She's not very good at hair. And the girls are like, why are we bringing this up now? Sorry. They're like, why are we bringing this up now? Like, this makes no sense. Like, this is a conversation for another day. I'm like, you told her to bring it up. Like, this, she told you it's not a thing for right now. And you guys are like, well, you have to. You have to. So that was kind of like the crack. Something else happened between Jesse and Demi before. I can't remember what it was, but this was kind of like the crack in the friendship. And now Jesse and Demi are like at each other's throats. And apparently, they went on to, the Nick Viall show. And we're talking about just how Jesse is like fame hungry. All she cares about is fame and money. And how Taylor doesn't, all Taylor wants is fame. She doesn't care about the money. She's like, you can tell who's in it. Demi said this. You can tell who's in it to like make a living for their family, and who's in it just for the fame and the recognition. And I'm like, you literally said in the show, it's no secret that I'm a fan favorite. So really, who is the one that wants the fame and the money and the recognition? And she, in this season, she's all about like, well, how much did you make for this brand? How much did you make for this brand deal? How much are you getting paid? She tried to sabotage Jesse's contract and get her kicked off the show because Jesse got a higher contract than her. And she's like, well, that's your manager's fault. That's your business manager's fault. That's not my fault. And people are like, well, why are we trying to get her kicked off just because she made more money than you? That makes no sense. And Brett was like, Demi has handled the fame so well. She is the most even-keeled person. She is so humble. She hasn't gotten to her head at all. I'm like, I don't believe that. But basically, Jessie posted on her story, she's like, or commented on something. Someone posted about Jesse and Demi, and basically she said, a 47-year-old washed-up loser who can't hold a job and asked my husband and I for 10 grand just a few months ago so he could pay his bills. I'm like, dang, you are not coming to play, are you? Jessie makes a lot of money, and people are criticizing her hair again, like the way she does hair. And people are like, it's not her. Like, she does the hair fine. It's the girls, they don't know how to style their hair. They just don't. They don't do it well, so it looks bad. Although someone did sorry, someone did post about, I shouldn't laugh because the girl was so upset, but they posted about the extension she paid $1,200 for from Jessie's store, and it was like so straggly, and they didn't even send her enough hair, and she can't get it to fit in her hair right. She can't curl it because it doesn't look good. She can't leave it straight because it doesn't look good. And people in the comments were like, "Girl, do you want me to get your money back for you?" And so the people were like, "Oh hell no, oh hell no." It was just so funny because it was so ridiculous. Like, there's no way that they could have sent her that seriously. There had to be some kind of mess up or mix up or something, because there's no way. It didn't even cover her whole head. Like, it was just like two pieces of hair. Oh, it was so you know when something happens to somebody and they're so upset by it, but it's so funny, but you can't help but laugh. That's how it was with this. So Jesse, I hope you fix that. Anyway, but the major bombshell was dropped that it wasn't Demi who had a fling at the Vanderpump Villa this summer on Vanderpump Villa with Marciano, who he drives me nuts. I cannot stand him. He just seems so arrogant. But it was in fact Jesse who had a affair with him. And there have been rumors about her and her husband being on the rocks, and their marriage kind of being on the rocks. And someone said that no, bear with me. Someone said that they were at Jesse's sister's friend's baby shower, and Jesse was there, and they overheard her talking about custody and pickup and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that could be a thing of them not being together, but also, doesn't she have a kid or two with another guy? Isn't that a thing? So they could be talking about that as well. But we're getting, because at the end they did to be continued, and then showed some clips from the next, what I thought was a season, but it's 2 parts. They're releasing, I think, 10 more episodes. They haven't announced when, they haven't announced anything about it, but I'm guessing it's going to be in like a month or two, probably July. And I can't wait, because 10 episodes is not long enough. I'm sorry, it's just not. You TV shows need to get your shit together, because that's not long enough. And even the girls said there's so much footage, we could have made 20 more episodes out of how much footage that they filmed. So, I don't know. Some things I like. Did you guys notice how many Alanis that Taylor had in her hand throughout the show? I counted at least like 6 or 7. And they tried to blur out the can, but I'm like, I know that can anywhere. They should have done a partnership with them, honestly. They took Affleck off Jen's name from Jen Affleck, because she was telling people that they were second cousins to Ben, and they really aren't. It's like a joke his family did, but she believed them and was telling all these people about it. And apparently they did not like Jesse and Jordan's Halloween costumes. So Jessie held a Halloween party at her house, and everyone had to dress up, and her and her husband dressed up as Ben and Jen Affleck, Ben and Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, kind of as a dig to Jen and Zach, and who also dressed up as Ben and Jen. So I don't know why they were that upset about it. But the Halloween party episode was crazy. So that's where we kind of not meet her for the first time, but Miranda shows up, and her ex-husband shows up as well, who was part of the swinging scandal. And from the first 5 seconds I saw him, I was like, I do not like that man. I don't like him at all. The way he was chewing his gum was the most D-bag energy I've ever seen in my life. When people chew gum like that, I'm like, who are you trying to impress? Like, what are you doing? I don't chew gum. I don't know why I don't like it, but I just don't. But when people chew gum like that so aggressively and like they're the hottest shit ever, I'm like, who are you trying to impress here? Like, I don't know. But his girlfriend at the time, I don't know if they're still together, but she was so upset that she left and he didn't even notice or care. All he cared about was being on camera on the screen. And so Miranda's his ex-wife. She was dressed up as a crab. I'm really wondering why she was dressed up as a crab now. And it was after Chase had gotten a fight with Taylor, I think. And Taylor's just so funny. She's sitting there and he's like yelling at her or whatever, and he's like, look in the camera and tell him you had a sex dream about me. And she's like, oh yeah, I've already told them about that. They already know about all this. She just like says it so matter of factly. But then I can't remember what happens, but they get in a fight and Chase is like screaming and yelling, and Miranda goes over and pokes him in the chest with her crab claw and points to the door. She's like, you need to leave. And I'm like, I can't take her seriously when she's pointing at the door with a crab claw. This is so funny to me. What else happened? Oh, when the police showed up because Brett went out and was gonna beat the crap out of Chase, Miranda's ex-husband, because he poked Demi, and he's like, you need to go apologize to my wife. He's like, I will. And then all of a sudden Jordan pops out of nowhere. Take ownership. People are like, what the hell is going on here? Like, where did you come from? Meanwhile, they're shirtless. They're getting ready to do their Chippendales skit with Jen. There's just so much going on. And the police show up because they're like, neighbors called the cops saying there was a fight, of altercation happening or whatever. And Jessie was trying to explain it to him, and she's like, so, she even was laughing as she was saying it because she knows how ridiculous it sounds. She's like, have you guys ever watched the show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? And the cop's like, no. She's like, okay, well, if you had, I was just going to say that would explain a lot of what is happening here. So the police leave, whatever, it becomes fine. Then they do the Chippendale show. Zach and Jen were not happy about that. Whitney had a baby, and she is doing anything she can to get back into Momtok. That is her only agenda. You can tell, her only goal, her only agenda. She does not give a shit about anything else but getting back into Momtok. And Michaela hates her. Michaela hates Whitney, and she makes it very known. Like, the way she talks about Whitney, like she's not even in the room with her, is so funny. She's like, why are we trying to let her come back in here with us? Like, why are we trying to let people who treat people like that come back and be with us? I'm like, dang, you really don't like her, do you? But yeah, and she... There's a scene where she's like, I just want to know if everyone's comfortable with me coming back into the group. And they all did a vote, and they voted no. And Miranda's like, oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't say anything like, can I be voted in? Because that was humiliating for Whitney. That was so embarrassing. Yeah, this show, you guys, I'm telling you, you need to watch it if you haven't. What else? Oh, I found this out. Brett's sister is married to the late Larry King. And I was like, wait, Larry King, like the radio guy or whatever? I don't know what he does, but I think he's on radio. He died in like 2020 something. Yeah, his sister is married, or was married to him. That is so interesting to me. I mean, I think he's the youngest. He's 47. So when I Googled his siblings, for some reason I pictured people like Momtok age. I was like, wait, these people are all old. I'm like, well, I guess that makes sense because he's almost 50. And if he's the youngest, then his siblings have to be a bunch older than him. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Like, what a small world. What a small world. His sister's worth like over $100 million. Like, you couldn't have asked her for $10,000. I wonder what that situation's like if he speaks to his siblings or what's going on. But I don't know. Anyway, I've got to get going, but thanks for listening to me rant and ramble and talk about all this stuff that's happening. I just love it. I can't get enough of it. It's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Yeah. I will see you guys next week. I'm going to try and start recording more TikToks. people like my cooking one TikToks, and I also like them, but they're really time consuming, you guys. They're really hard to make. So, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening, and go binge watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because you're missing out if you're not. Okay, bye.